welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for clicking on the link to watch this video. To all my old and my new subscribers, thank you all so much for the support. If today is your first time watching my video, don't forget to click on the subscription button to subscribe to my channel. So I'm Barikisi Saka. I'm a first year PhD student at Michigan State University, and once again I'm back with all your tips for grad school. So today I just want to talk about the various semesters that we have in the US and the best time to apply for graduate school in the US. So the US typically has 3 semesters, which is the fall, the spring, and the summer. However, when it comes to the application process, they only consider application for 2 of the semesters, which is the fall semester and the spring semester. Now, a lot of people usually ask me the difference between the 2. So the spring semester usually starts from January till May. So usually the spring semester will start from January and end in May, and the fall semesters usually start from August and ends in December. So though some schools start their fall semester in September, usually it's from August to December. So that's when the fall semester also starts and ends. And the application cycle and process for both semesters are usually different, and I want to talk about some of the things or what you have to consider when you're applying for either the fall or the spring semester, and why it's important to consider applying for one of the semesters, which I think is the best. I don't know about you, but I'm going to give my reasons and touch on why it's the best to consider one of the semesters. So usually the application cycle for the fall semester starts from October and ends in some schools would have their deadline in December, others will have their deadline in January, and usually for the fall semester the deadline is by March. I think most of the schools that have late deadline for fall semester is usually by March, so it usually starts from October till March. So if you're interested in applying for the fall semester, it's always important that you start early, like somewhere June, July. You start putting your materials together. I'll make a video and talk about like when to start putting your materials together and all the other processes. So just to tell you when the fall semester application starts, it starts from October and ends in March. And with the spring semester, usually the application process for some schools will start like in January and end in April. So for the spring semester, the deadline usually extends to April or May. You would even find some schools where like the spring semester will end somewhere in May. However, I always advise people to look out for the fall semester and to consider applying for the fall semester instead of the spring semester. Why do I say this? Because the fall semester is actually the main start for the US. So the academic year for the US starts in the fall semester. So since the year starts in the fall semester, they usually offer more courses during the fall semester. So if you apply for the fall semester, you have a high chance of like getting admitted, and also you have a high chance of like coming across a lot of courses that schools offer during the fall semester. So most schools will usually offer a lot of courses during the fall semester instead of the spring semester. So it's always important to consider the fall semester. Now also most classes are being offered during the fall semester, especially most prerequisite classes. So usually we have required courses that you have to take. So there's some courses that are really compulsory and you have to take, whereas we have elective courses. But schools would usually offer some of the compulsory courses or the required courses during the fall semester. So if you start your program during the fall semester, then you'll be lucky to take those required courses before you start taking elective courses or other courses. I'm saying this because when I started my program during the fall semester, I was in class with someone who started a program during the spring semester, and when we were taking one of our methods classes, she was like, oh, I wish I took this class before taking the other class I took during the spring semester. But when she started, they were not offering that particular class. So it's always good for you to start during that time. Now, the most important thing why you have to consider the fall semester has to do with funding. Most of us usually, especially for international students, most of us want to come to school with funding. Now, it's important for you to consider the fall for funding because during the fall semester, most seniors would be graduating. So most seniors would usually graduate like at the end of spring, which is like May. So there'll be a lot of spots for people who would enroll during this fall semester. So if the seniors or people in their final years were having assistantship, those spots will be empty now once they are done with school. So that way, when you apply, then you are more likely to receive an assistantship because there are empty spots since other people have graduated or completed. When it comes to research as well, most professors want to start their research at the start of the year, which is the fall semester, because that's the start of the school year for schools in the US. So most professors want to start their research at that time and end during the second semester, which is the spring semester. So most professors are more likely to give assistantship or give research positions during the fall semester as compared to the spring semester. Now, even if you go to the school's website, you realize that most schools would write or they will indicate that they consider people for assistantship and for funding during the fall semester. So it's really important that if you want to apply for school and get full funding, or if you want to be considered for funding, you consider the fall semester, which is the application period between October to March. Now, most schools usually have their deadline in like December, January, February. So it's important to start that process early. However, sometimes there are exceptions, especially for research assistants or for science students, because their funding usually comes from professors. Although some professors would like to start their projects like from the beginning, others also do not mind considering you for assistantship for the spring semester. So most of the exceptional cases are usually for research assistants. However, for teaching assistants, they usually would give you funding if you are applying for the fall semester. So this is just a short video to just tell you that if you want to get funding, consider the fall semester. Honestly, I know people will tell you that, oh, I got funding during the spring. Yes, there are people who do get funding during the spring semester, but majority and most of the funding are offered during the fall semester. So most schools offer funding during the fall semester, although you might get funding during the spring semester. And you can confirm this when you visit most schools' websites. You would realize that they give funding during the fall semester. So if you apply for the fall semester and if your school's deadline was in January or February, anyway, you will hear from the school by latest by April. You should have heard from the school. If you apply for fall semester, latest by April, you would hear from the school. Then you start your visa application process and stuff, and then by August you come to the US and start your program. So always consider the fall semester when you're applying for school. Even for international students, one thing I forgot to add, mostly when you come, especially for masters, after your 2 years program, you will just be thinking about what next. And usually most international students will consider PhD after their masters. Now, if you start during the fall, you are more likely to be able to apply for schools before you graduate, because especially since most schools would consider and accept admissions and applications during the fall semester, you have a high chance of being able to apply to school before you finish your program. So that way, by the time you finish your program, you already have an admission for a PhD and you don't have to think about what next. However, if you come during the spring, then you are more like you finish your program by December. And since most schools do not usually offer courses for the spring, if you finish in December, you might not be able to get a program that's willing to accept you for you to start the program in January. So that would make you frustrated and you'll be thinking and stuff. So always go for the fall semester and always consider applying for schools for the fall semester. So thank you all so much for watching this video. If this video was good, or if you think this video was beneficial to you, all I want from you is to just click on the subscription button to subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you all so much once again, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.